morning and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. What's next for you? Visit cnext.bank for more. And happy Monday. Welcome to November. November 3rd to be exact, as hopefully everybody enjoyed their Halloween festivities, their high school football, college football over the weekend. Kind of a rough go for ULM Warhawk fans, but hopefully we rebound this weekend and as we go through the rest of the season. A look at the frost advisory that's in effect for about another hour and 15 minutes or so, and I know that it includes a good chunk of the ArkLaMiss region, but it also doesn't include a good chunk of the ArkLaMiss region, and even if you're not under a frost advisory, there's still a decent chance that you are encountering some patchy frost. So if you have tender vegetation plants that just cannot tolerate the cold, hopefully you took care of them last night, because again, some of that damage, in theory, could be irreparable if that were the case. Sun's starting to rise, so a lot of areas are already climbing into the low into the 40s. Camden was at 34 last hour. They approached the freezing mark at one point today. 39 in Monroe, 36 in El Dorado, 37 in Jonesboro and Winfield. So you can kind of see that most of the area dipped into the upper 30s at one point this morning. And again, as I mentioned, you may need the jacket as you head out and about this morning, but you won't need it for very long as we go through the day. Susie, good morning and happy Monday. Dew points are in the upper 30s to low 40s, and the winds are fairly calm. And that, again, is allowing for some frost formation across the area this morning as well. Joy, good morning to you. Check of temperatures as we go through the afternoon. No big surprise that a lot of us land back into the upper end of the 60s. In fact, I have the Monroe area landing right at 70 degrees this afternoon as the warming trend is on with the help of some southerly and southeasterly winds. As we go through the overnight hours tonight, still chilly, clear skies, dry conditions, so not a lot of water in the air. So when the sun rises, temperatures warm up quickly. And then when the sun sets, temperatures cool down pretty quickly. We call this optimal radiational cooling conditions. So think about it this way. All the sun's energy gets absorbed by the Earth's surface through the course of the day. And then once the sun stops shining, sun sets, all of that heat that's been absorbed by the Earth's surface starts to radiate back into the atmosphere. And if you have cloud cover and wind to kind of trap and keep that warmer air closer to the surface, temperatures won't cool off as quickly. But if you have light winds or calm winds and that heat is allowed to just radiate higher and higher in the atmosphere and just keep climbing, then temperatures at the surface fall that much faster. And so again, radiational cooling. And that's what we expect tonight as a lot of us dip back into the low into the 40s. Janet and Veron, hope I get that name right. Happy Monday morning to all of you. Low 70s for highs on your Tuesday. I wouldn't be surprised to see the mid-70s in some spots. And then morning lows back in the 40s for Wednesday. But the warming trend you can see is on. So we go from 40s to 50s. And then I think by Friday morning, a lot of us will be in the low 60s ahead of cold front number one. Mid-70s Wednesday afternoon. I think upper 70s are very attainable. And then, like I said, low 50s Thursday morning, upper 70s Thursday afternoon. And then low 60s Friday morning. So again, cloud cover starts to gather a little bit. Warm air starts to gather ahead of cold front or boundary number one. So we'll probably still be near 70 on Friday morning, but there will be some changes as we go through Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday, kind of resetting temperatures as we head through the upcoming weekend. High pressure at the surface sits right over the top of us, and that's going to allow for generally calm winds today, but it also will allow for those southerly and southeasterly winds to start to return in some degree later this afternoon as high pressure starts to kind of slide to the eastward a little bit. But once it's as it's sitting over the top of us like that, high pressure is not going to allow for much of wind today. Temperature outlook over the next 6 to 10 days shows at least kind of hinting toward being above average in the 6 to 10 day time frame. The precip also generally trends drier. This shouldn't be a big surprise when you see the 7-day forecast. 8 to 14-day pattern still pointing us above average through the middle parts of the month. Again, I don't want to get too bent out of shape about these types of things because these are trends. We're not looking at specific numbers, but obviously it looks like November is going to be fairly warm and to a certain degree, relatively dry. The 8 to 14-day pattern kind of gives us equal chances, wetter or drier, during that 8 to 14-day time frame. But again, I don't take too much stock in these types of things. Oh, eyelash in the eye. But it's something that we'll keep an eye on as we go through the next couple of weeks, because all told, pretty quiet across the region. Anithia, good morning to you. Here's a check of the water vapor imagery. High pressure aloft sits right over central Texas. Again, at the surface, high pressure sits right over the top of us, but in the upper levels of the atmosphere, it's off to the west, and that allows for some northerly and northwesterly flow. It's what's pulling all this colder air in place for now. Sean, it is a beautiful morning, but it is a chilly one. High pressure aloft will kind of move right overhead, keep us quiet through the middle parts of this week, but then it kind of relaxes and gets pushed to the southwest. Still influences the forecast through Thursday and into Friday. Friday, we get the first of what will be a couple of disturbances. This first trough is kind of a glancing blow of a cold front. It helps to cool us down somewhat, but nothing dramatic. And then there's a late Saturday, early Sunday cold front. Timing is still very suspect, so please keep that in mind as we continue to formulate the forecast over the next week. But that second front really brings a bigger shot of cooler air into the region. I think it gets deeper into our area, and when I say cooler, it kind of brings us back to generally where we are now. Highs back in the upper 50s to near 60 for a brief period of time. Morning lows firmly back into the 40s. That's how it looks for right now. Again, a lot can change between now and then. Temperatures will rebound this afternoon. Gloria, good morning to you as well. Again, grab the jacket early, but you won't need it later. Daytime highs land in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Again, winds will be fairly light out of the east, maybe getting a little bit of a southeasterly component by the end of the day. Lows tonight return to the low to mid-40s, clear skies, and again, optimal what we call radiational cooling conditions, so temperatures will fall quickly. Once the sun sets, we'll go from the 50s to the 40s rather rapidly, I would say between 9 and 11 p.m. tonight, maybe even a little sooner than that. So it will be a chilly overnight, so plan accordingly. Check of the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware shows daytime highs low to mid-70s, morning lows in the 40s, but we will see the 80-degree mark potentially by Friday. Morning lows will be back in the low 60s by then. We could entertain some small rain chances. There's also a very brief rain chance Saturday night that's not indicated here. It's only about 10%, and that's all we have to work with over the next 7 days. So, again, a reminder that that's how things break down over the next week. And obviously, we'll keep you updated with any changes. A reminder, the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, is a digital weather platform serving 33 parishes and counties across northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and western Mississippi. It is made possible by the local businesses that you see there on your screen. If you ever decide that you need their services and you reach out to them, tell them that you appreciate them sponsoring and taking care of the Digital Weather Desk. And if you tell them that Jared sent you, like I always say, they may ask you to leave. If you have a local business that's interested in partnering with us, they can email us at jared@digitalweatherdesk.com. How do you play your role? It's pretty simple. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Like, comment, share on the content, and support our local business partners when you can, if you can. Again, just keep their names in mind if you ever need them, and if you don't, just tell them thank you anyway. Aside from that, the Digital Weather Desk app is available for Android and Apple users. You can download it right now. The forecast that you see on your phone is tied directly to the 7-day forecast you see here. Numbers may be different, but that's because your location is different. Good morning to you, Kathy. And, of course, the forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com. Should join you midday. I'll have your Too Long Didn't Read at 9:30. I'll join you midday for a look at the forecast. I'll join you later this afternoon. There may be a smidge of a gap this afternoon in content simply because I think I may bring all of these computer monitors down today and set up my new mount that involves drilling a hole in this desk. So wish me luck. If I have power tools in my hand, it may or may not be a good thing. Harlan, good morning to you. But that pretty much is a look at the forecast. It is a pretty quiet week. It has been really quiet all told since the Digital Weather Desk launched, which is about 2 months and 2 days at this point. But that's not necessarily a bad thing as we go into the fall months. Lots of outdoor activities, and folks want the conditions to cooperate. Of course, like I said, the forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com or on the app. I'll catch you midday. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody.